What if I told you that almost everything you believe about reality is incomplete? That beneath the surface of what you see, touch, and feel every day, there exists a hidden layer of truth, one so powerful that only a handful of people in history have ever truly understood it. This truth isn't about money, fame, or status. It's about energy. Not the kind of energy you learned about in school, measured in watts or volts, but a deeper, living energy that flows through every particle, every thought, every heartbeat, and every moment of existence. This is the energy that shapes your life. The energy that decides whether you succeed or fail, whether you feel joy or despair, whether you live as a creator of your destiny or as a prisoner of circumstance. And here's the shocking part. Less than 1% of people ever understand this truth. The rest live their entire lives asleep, blind to the force that's been guiding them all along. But you're here, you're listening, and maybe, just maybe, you're ready to see what the 1% see. Because once you do, you'll never look at yourself or the world the same way again. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine your body not as solid flesh and bone, but as a swirling ocean of particles, constantly moving, vibrating, and exchanging information with the universe around you. This isn't imagination, it's science. Quantum physics has proven that at the deepest level, everything is energy, vibrating fields of probability, dancing in patterns too small for the human eye to see. Your hand, the chair you sit on, the air you breathe, all of it is buzzing with invisible motion. And within that buzzing lies a code, a frequency, a signature vibration that shapes what you experience in life. This is why two people can walk into the same room, face the same circumstances, and yet have completely different experiences. One feels opportunity, excitement, possibility. The other feels fear, doubt, and resistance. It's not luck. It's not chance. It's the energy they bring with them. You see, your energy doesn't just reflect your reality, it creates it. And the truth that only 1% understand is that if you change your energy, you change everything. So why do so few people understand this? Because most of us have been trained since childhood to focus only on what we can see and measure. Society tells us, reality is what's outside of you. If you want to change your life, change the external world. Work harder, get more money, move to a better place, find the right people. And while all of that seems logical, it keeps us blind to the deeper truth. That reality doesn't begin out there. It begins in here, in your energy field, in your vibration, in the frequency you project every second of every day. Think about it. Have you ever met someone who instantly makes you feel calm, inspired, or alive, without saying a word? Or someone else who drains your energy the moment they enter the room? That's not coincidence. That's energy communication. An invisible exchange that your body senses even if your mind can't explain it. Yet most people dismiss it. They call it a gut feeling, intuition, or worse, nonsense. And in doing so, they shut the door to the very truth that could transform their lives. The 1% don't ignore it. They lean in. They understand that mastering energy is mastering reality itself. Let's ground this mystery in something solid. Quantum physics tells us that particles exist in multiple states until observed, what scientists call superposition. In other words, reality is not fixed. It is a field of infinite possibilities. Your mind, your energy acts as the observer. Your focus, your belief, your vibration, these collapse the field into one experience, the reality you live. This means you're not just walking through life as a passive observer. You're co-creating it moment by moment with the universe itself. Dr. Joe Dispenza often says, your personality creates your personal reality. What he means is that your thoughts, emotions, and energy set the blueprint for the life you experience. If you live in fear, your energy collapses reality into more fear. If you live in gratitude and possibility, your energy collapses reality into more opportunities. The universe isn't rewarding or punishing you. It's simply responding like a mirror to the vibration you carry. And this is the truth only 1% of people ever really understand. You are not a victim of reality. You are the architect of it. Here's the fascinating part. This isn't new. ancient civilizations understood this energy truth long before modern science caught up. The Vedic sages of India spoke of prana, the life force energy that flows through all beings. The Chinese called it qi or qi. Indigenous cultures across the globe described it as spirit, mana, or breath of life. They didn't have particle accelerators or quantum equations, but they felt the truth. They knew that when your energy was aligned, you thrived. When it was blocked, you suffered. Even in the Bible, there are whispers of this truth. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. It all points to the same understanding. Energy is the foundation of reality. Master it and you master life. But here's the catch. Knowing this isn't enough. You have to live it. And that's where the 99% fall away. Imagine for a moment that your entire existence is like a radio station. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every belief you hold, all of it is sending out a signal. That signal is your frequency. Now, just like a radio receiver can only pick up the station it's tuned into, you can only attract and experience what matches your frequency. If your energy is tuned to fear, you'll pick up more situations that confirm your fear. If you're tuned to scarcity, you'll keep finding evidence of lack. But if you shift to gratitude, abundance, love, or possibility, suddenly, new realities appear, opportunities you never noticed start opening up, and people who resonate with your vibration begin to enter your life. Here lies the secret. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. This is why affirmations or wishful thinking often fail for the 99%. They say the words, but their energy, their frequency, tells a different story. And the universe responds to the energy, not the empty words. The 1% understand that the key isn't to force reality to change, but to change the inner broadcast signal, to shift the frequency of your being. Think about your thoughts as electrical signals and your emotions as magnetic fields. Together, they create an electromagnetic signature that interacts with the quantum field. When you think a thought and fuel it with strong emotion, you're not just daydreaming. You're broadcasting a signal into the fabric of reality. Here's the paradox. Most people are broadcasting unconsciously. Their thoughts are recycled fears. Their emotions are stuck on old wounds. They're sending out the same signals day after day, and then wondering why their life doesn't change. The 1% interrupt this cycle. They train their mind to focus deliberately. They cultivate emotions like gratitude, joy, and wonder, not because life is perfect, but because they know these emotions raise their frequency, which then reorganizes reality around them. Science has measured this. HeartMath Institute discovered that the human heart generates the most powerful electromagnetic field in the body, far stronger than the brain. When the heart is coherent, meaning emotions are balanced and elevated, it creates harmony in the body and sends out a signal of order into the field around you. This isn't metaphor. This is measurable energy truth. Have you ever thought of someone only to have them call you moments later? Or felt uneasy before walking into a room, then discovered tension was already there? These aren't coincidences. They're reminders that your energy is always interacting with the energy of others, weaving together an invisible web of connection. Quantum entanglement, one of the strangest discoveries in physics, proves that two particles, once connected, remain linked across vast distances. Change one, and the other responds instantly, faster than the speed of light. Now imagine this principle applied to human relationships. Every bond you've ever formed, every person you've ever loved or hated, creates energetic threads. These connections vibrate, influence, and sometimes even shape your experiences in ways you can't see. The 1% understand this. They know that when they heal their energy, they shift the energy of the connections around them. When they raise their vibration, the people in their orbit either rise with them or drift away. This is why growth often feels lonely at first. It's not punishment, it's resonance. Your frequency changes, and your reality adjusts. Why do 99% of people stay stuck? Because their energy is trapped in the frequencies of the past. Every traumatic memory, every failure, every wound leaves an energetic imprint. Over time, these imprints become patterns, invisible programs running in the background. They dictate how you think, how you feel, and what you expect from life. You might consciously want abundance, but if your energy is still broadcasting scarcity, the quantum field can only echo that back. You might crave love, but if your vibration is tangled in old heartbreak, you'll unconsciously push love away. The cruel truth is that most people never escape these loops. They live the same year over and over and call it a life. The 1% refuse to stay in this prison. They understand that freedom doesn't come from changing the past, but from changing the energy tied to it. They learn to release old frequencies, to forgive, to heal, and to align with the vibration of the future they choose to live. As Dr. Bruce Lipton says, your subconscious mind runs 95% of your life. If you don't reprogram the energy of that subconscious, your conscious desires will always lose. The first step toward becoming part of the 1% is awareness. Most people live in a fog, reacting automatically, never questioning why they feel the way they do or why the same patterns keep repeating. But the moment you pause, observe your own energy, and ask, what am I broadcasting right now? You begin to reclaim your power. Are you broadcasting fear or faith, lack or abundance, resentment or gratitude? The 1% check in constantly. They become conscious architects of their vibration. Instead of being dragged by old patterns, they begin to design their energy like an artist designs a masterpiece. Awareness is the switch that turns on the light in a dark room. Suddenly you see the patterns, the blocks, the truths you've ignored. And with seeing comes choice. But here's the trap. Knowledge alone isn't enough. You could listen to 1,000 lectures, read every book on energy, and still be stuck in the same patterns. Because knowing the path is not the same as walking it. The 99% collect information but never embody it. They get excited, nod their heads, say, yes, I believe this, then go back to living from the same old energy. The 1% take action. They meditate, visualize, breathe, journal, practice gratitude. They build daily rituals that shift their vibration. Slowly, steadily, their energy rewires. Their frequency changes, and reality responds. Transformation is not a single lightning strike. It's the daily alignment of energy until the new vibration becomes your natural state. When that happens, you don't have to force reality anymore. It begins to flow with you. Let's pause here and face a hard truth. There is a cost to ignoring this energy truth. The cost is living a life of repetition, where yesterday looks like today, and today looks like tomorrow. The cost is unexplained anxiety, constant frustration, failed relationships, and dreams that never manifest. Most people never realize they're paying this price because society normalizes it. That's just life, they say. That's how the world works. But deep down, you know better. You felt moments where your energy aligned. Synchronicities appeared, doors opened, miracles happened. Those weren't accidents. They were glimpses of what life could look like if you lived as the 1%. The question is, will you keep paying the cost of ignorance? Or will you invest in the energy truth that changes everything? Think about the life you dream of. Maybe it's financial freedom, radiant health, or a deep, loving relationship. Whatever it is, understand this. That future already exists in the quantum field as a possibility. Your job isn't to create it from nothing. Your job is to align with its frequency. Imagine turning a dial on a radio. The station you want is already out there, broadcasting. If you're tuned too low, all you hear is static. But the moment you match the exact frequency, the music flows clearly. Your dream life works the same way. The 1% don't sit around wishing. They ask, what frequency does my desired future broadcast at? And then they tune themselves to that energy. This means embodying the feelings of that future before it arrives. Acting as if you already live there. Thinking the thoughts, feeling the emotions, walking with the posture of the version of you that exists in that reality. It's not pretending, it's aligning. And the universe, which always mirrors your vibration, has no choice but to reorganize itself to match. You might wonder, how do I actually live this truth every day? The 1% integrate energy awareness into everything. Here are a few examples. Morning rituals. They begin their day not by checking the news or social media, but by tuning their frequency. Meditation, visualization, gratitude journaling. These practices raise their vibration before the day begins. Mindful eating. They know food carries energy. They choose meals that uplift rather than drain, eating with awareness instead of distraction. Conscious conversations. They surround themselves with people who lift their energy. They step away from gossip, negativity, and drama, not out of arrogance, but because they guard their frequency like treasure. Nightly reflection. Before sleep, they review their energy. Did I live today in alignment with my desired frequency? What can I shift tomorrow? Living this way doesn't mean perfection. It means persistence. Over time, their energy shifts from scattered chaos to consistent coherence. Let's step into some real-world stories. There are countless documented cases where people changed their energy and reality shifted dramatically. A woman battling years of illness practiced daily gratitude and meditation, raising her vibration. Within months, her health markers improved beyond medical expectations. An entrepreneur who struggled with constant failures realized he was broadcasting desperation. He shifted into joy and trust, started projects from inspiration instead of fear, and suddenly partnerships and opportunities appeared effortlessly. A man who carried years of heartbreak worked through forgiveness and love meditations. As he released old frequencies, he met a partner who matched his new vibration almost instantly. These aren't accidents. They're demonstrations of the energy truth in action. The 99% dismiss them as luck or coincidence. The 1% know better. Modern research is catching up to what mystics have always said. Coherence is power. When your brain waves and heart rhythms synchronize, when your thoughts and emotions align, you enter a state of coherence. In this state, your energy is ordered, powerful, and magnetic. Scientists at the HeartMath Institute discovered that coherent states not only affect your body, reducing stress, boosting immunity, but they also influence the environment around you. It's as if your vibration becomes a tuning fork that brings harmony to the chaos of reality. The 1% deliberately cultivate coherence. They breathe deeply, focus their mind, elevate their emotions. They know that in coherence, they're not just surviving life, they're shaping it. Here's another reason most people never reach the 1%. They chase energy from outside themselves. They think, when I get the job, then I'll feel successful. When I find love, then I'll feel complete. When I have money, then I'll feel safe. But the quantum truth flips this logic. When you feel the energy first, the external follows. Chasing external validation is like staring at the mirror and waiting for your reflection to smile first. It never works. The 1% smile first. They generate the feeling within, and reality simply mirrors it back. Energy doesn't just shape your present. It bends your relationship with time. When you live in low vibration, time feels heavy. Days drag, opportunities slip away, and the future seems unreachable. But in high vibration, time expands. Synchronicities multiply. The right people show up at the right moment. You feel carried by a current, as if the universe is conspiring on your behalf. Einstein himself said, "The distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion." The 1% live beyond that illusion. They collapse future possibilities into the now by aligning their energy with what they choose to experience. Embracing this energy truth sets you apart. The 99% may mock you, dismiss you, or call you unrealistic. But every revolutionary idea in history was once dismissed. Electricity, airplanes, the internet, all laughed at before they became undeniable. Energy mastery is no different. The pioneers who live by it often walk alone at first. But they walk with courage, knowing that truth is never validated by the masses, only by results. And results always come because energy never lies. When you shift your energy, you don't just change your own life. You ripple into the lives of everyone around you. Your elevated vibration inspires others, even if silently. Your coherence brings order to chaos. Your courage to live authentically gives permission for others to do the same. This is why the 1% carry immense responsibility. Their energy shapes not only their reality but the collective reality we all share. Imagine a world where more people woke up to this truth. Wars would end, scarcity would dissolve, and humanity would step into a higher level of existence. It all begins with individuals choosing to master their energy. At this point, you may feel a stirring inside you, a recognition that you've always known this truth deep down. Perhaps you've felt the whispers of your intuition, the strange coincidences, the moments of magic you couldn't explain. That was the universe reminding you of your power. The difference now is awareness. You've pulled back the veil. You see that less than 1% of people live this truth, but you don't have to remain in the 99%. You stand at the turning point. You can continue living unconsciously, or you can choose to align your energy and step into the rare, extraordinary reality reserved for those who dare to understand. There comes a moment in every journey where the truth is no longer just an idea, but something you can feel pulsing inside you. By now, you understand that energy is not a concept reserved for scientists or mystics. It is the very fabric of your existence. And yet, most people will live and die without ever truly touching this truth. They will talk about luck, chance, or destiny, but deep down, they will never realize that the power was always within them. The 1% know differently. They know that every single day, in every single moment, you are broadcasting. Your thoughts, your emotions, your state of being, they are sending signals into the quantum field. And like a cosmic mirror, the universe reflects those signals back into your reality. This is not philosophy. It is law. If you feel lack, you experience more lack. If you radiate love, love finds you. If you choose courage, life bends to honor your bravery. But this truth comes with responsibility. Because once you understand it, you can never go back to unconscious living. You can never again blame the outside world for what you hold inside. You can never hide behind excuses of fate or chance. You become the creator, and creators must choose wisely. Look at your life right now. Every relationship, every struggle, every triumph, every failure. It is not random. It is a reflection of your energy. If something feels heavy, ask yourself what energy you've been carrying. If something feels alive and expansive, celebrate the frequency you've chosen. This level of awareness is what separates the rare few from the many. And yet, awareness alone is not enough. The real transformation happens when you practice. When you begin each morning not by drowning in distractions, but by aligning with the vibration of the life you choose to live. When you close your eyes and breathe into gratitude, when you feel love before it arrives, when you smile at the mirror before the reflection changes. These small acts are not symbolic. They are direct commands to the universe. They are you, tuning your instrument to match the symphony of reality you want to hear. Think of it this way. Every future you dream of already exists. Somewhere in the quantum field, the version of you who is healthy, abundant, joyful, and free is already real. That future is not waiting for time. It is waiting for alignment. The 1% do not chase their dreams. They embody them now, and by doing so, they collapse time. What could have taken years begins unfolding in months, weeks, even days. Synchronicities accelerate, opportunities multiply, and what once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. But here is the danger: the pull of the 99% is strong. The world is filled with noise, negativity, and fear. Every day you are surrounded by people who tell you to be realistic, to settle, to stop dreaming. They will call you crazy, they will laugh, they will doubt. Not because they are bad, but because they are asleep. And nothing threatens the asleep more than someone who dares to wake up. This is why courage is essential. To live this truth, you must be willing to walk a different path. You must guard your energy as fiercely as a treasure, because it is. You must choose silence when the world screams. You must choose faith when doubt surrounds you. You must choose love when fear tempts you. Each choice is a declaration to the universe. I am aligning with my higher self, and nothing will shake me. The results are not always immediate. Energy takes time to reorganize reality. But the moment you shift within, the process has already begun. The seeds are planted in the unseen, and soon enough they bloom in the seen. The 1% never question if it will happen. They only wonder when. That certainty, that trust, is what keeps their energy coherent. Imagine for a moment what your life would look like if you truly lived this way. Imagine waking up with clarity instead of confusion, moving through your day with flow instead of force, attracting relationships that nourish you instead of drain you. Imagine opportunities coming to you not because you chased them, but because you magnetized them. This is not fantasy. It is what happens when you live as energy first, reality second. And when you live this way, something even greater happens. You stop living only for yourself. Your vibration begins to influence everyone you meet. A simple smile carries light. Your calm presence eases others' chaos. Your courage gives permission for others to rise. You become a lighthouse in a stormy sea, guiding not by words, but by energy. This is the ripple effect. One awakened being can shift an entire room, an entire community, even an entire generation. That is how powerful energy is. But understand this, you will always have a choice. You can walk away from this knowledge, return to the comfort of the 99%, and live as though life is random. Or you can step forward into the unknown, trusting what you now know deep inside, that reality bends to those who master their vibration. The truth is, only 1% will choose the second path. Most will hear these words and nod, but then return to their old ways. Only a few will act. Only a few will remember every morning that they are broadcasting. Only a few will pause in silence and listen to the whispers of the universe. Only a few will persist when the results don't come instantly, trusting the unseen until it becomes seen. And so the question is no longer about energy. The question is about you. Will you continue to drift, allowing your energy to be shaped by fear, doubt, and circumstance? Or will you step into your role as a conscious creator, aligning with love, abundance, and freedom? The door is already open. The frequency is already broadcasting. The future you desire is already real. But only you can choose to tune in. And if you do, if you truly commit to living as the 1%, then one day you will look back and realize something extraordinary. You will realize that nothing in your life was ever random. That every moment of pain was guiding you, every challenge was training you, every delay was preparing you. You will realize that the universe was never against you. It was always waiting for you to understand the truth. The truth that energy shapes everything. The truth that vibration creates reality. The truth that only 1% ever embrace. But now, you know. And once you know, you can never unknow. The choice is yours. Step into the rare. Step into the powerful. Step into the truth. Because your energy has always been the key. And now you hold it. There is something almost poetic about reaching this moment. You have walked through layers of knowledge, through science and spirit, through stories and silence, and now you stand face to face with the very truth that only a rare few will ever embody. And perhaps the greatest realization of all is that this truth was never hidden from you. It has always been here, surrounding you, pulsing within you, waiting for you to notice. The air you breathe, the thoughts you think, the love you feel, all of it is energy. It flows through the trees, it hums in the stars, it vibrates in every atom of your being. You are not separate from it, and you never were. The illusion of separation is the greatest lie humanity has believed. But those who awaken, those who become the 1%, see clearly. There is no gap between you and the universe. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the ocean in a drop. This is why the journey feels both terrifying and liberating. Terrifying because once you accept it, you can no longer hide behind excuses. Liberating because you realize you are infinitely more powerful than you ever imagined. You don't need permission. You don't need validation. You don't need to wait for some future moment. Everything you need to create the life you desire already exists within you, here and now. The old way of living, chasing, forcing, doubting, begins to look absurd once you touch this truth. Why beg reality to change when reality is simply mirroring you? Why search endlessly for external answers when the signal has always been coming from your own vibration? It is like standing in front of a mirror, frowning, and waiting for the reflection to smile first. You see now how impossible that is. The reflection only changes when you do. And so you begin to shift, not in giant leaps but in small, deliberate steps. You breathe a little deeper. You choose gratitude when you might have chosen complaint. You imagine your desired future and feel it as though it is already here. These acts seem small, but they are seismic. Every shift within you rearranges the field around you. Every elevated thought, every loving feeling, every courageous choice ripples into the fabric of reality. One day, perhaps sooner than you think, you will notice the evidence. The right people will arrive. The opportunity you longed for will appear. The health you thought was impossible will begin to restore. And it won't feel like coincidence. It will feel natural, inevitable, as though the universe was simply waiting for you to tune in. And when that moment comes, you will understand why only 1% live this way. Not because the truth is hidden, but because it demands responsibility. It demands persistence. It demands faith when nothing seems to be happening. Most people won't take that path. But you are not most people. You have heard this truth. You have felt it stir inside you. And that means something has already shifted. The question now is simple. Will you act on it? Will you rise each day and choose your energy consciously? Or will you let the noise of the world choose for you? Will you step boldly into the unknown, trusting the vibration you carry? Or will you shrink back into the familiar patterns of the 99%? The choice is always yours, and no one can make it for you. But if you choose to live as the 1%, if you choose to honor the energy truth, your life will become unrecognizable. You will no longer stumble through existence, you will dance with it. You will no longer wonder if the universe cares. You will feel its love in every breath. You will no longer chase freedom, you will embody it. And as you do, others will notice. They may not understand it, they may not have words for it, but they will feel something in your presence. They will feel lighter, calmer, inspired. They will feel the ripple of your vibration. And without even realizing it, you will become a beacon, a living reminder of what is possible when someone decides to master their energy. Perhaps that is the greatest gift of all. Not just the life you create for yourself, but the spark you ignite in others. The ripple becomes a wave, the wave becomes a tide, and little by little, the 1% grows. Until one day, perhaps, humanity itself awakens fully to the truth. Until then, the path belongs to you. Remember, you are energy. You are frequency. You are vibration. And reality is not separate from you. It is you reflected back. So step forward now, not as a seeker, but as a creator. Walk with the knowing that everything you desire already exists, waiting for your alignment. Live with the certainty that the universe is listening, always listening to the signal you broadcast. And never forget this. The rarest truth of all is not that only 1% understand energy. It is that you are one of the few who heard this call, one of the few who will choose to live it. You hold the key. The door is open. The question is no longer whether the truth is real. The question is whether you are ready to step into it. And if you are, the universe is already smiling back.